Welcome back to the Ghoulfriends podcast. I am Alonna, aka Lon Bun. I am the reason we are starting 13 minutes late. So I'll let Jamie take it from here.
Yes, how dare you be a healthy human being? It's disgusting. It's horrible.
Well,
So
you say
lame.
that as I sip my monster.
That's okay. I'm like my third glass of wine in, and I went wine tasting with my Annie M. So,
Oh my goodness. I bought an entire case of Monster today, and I don't feel bad for doing it.
As you shouldn't. I had a Monster Day habit, and then I switched to Bang because it's not as bad for you.
Oh yeah, I love
But
the cotton candy one too.
that's the one I always get. I ordered 12 packs off of Amazon. But,
Really?
so it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't
Yeah,
energize me at all.
yeah.
So, but I mean, that's just me. So,
Although
but
most energy drinks and coffee don't energize me at all. So I could drink a coffee at like 4 in the morning and fall right asleep. So.
true, same. But usually monsters, they can get me going. So, you know.
Yeah.
But on that note, I would like to say happy birthday to my Annie M, the witchiest bitch I know.
Happy
And also happy birthday to Miss Chelsea, my full-time assistant manager and buddy at work. I hope you both have a lovely birthday and enjoy yourself.
Hell yeah, June babies. Well,
Yeah.
since by the time the next one it'll be after, so happy early birthday to my lovely aunt and Jamie's mom.
Yes, this
Yep.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And I
cheers
don't
to you.
know if it will be passed or not, but
No,
in
but
case it
by
is,
the time our next episode airs, probably.
the 18th.
Maybe. I don't know.
If not, happy birthday to my sister and my big brother Chris.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. We're just going all the way across the
Yeah,
board.
right.
We have a comment already. Yo, what's happening, Gus? Tonight we're gonna be talking about horror video games, so stay tuned.
Yes, be sure to tell us your favorites.
Yeah, tell us your favorites. Tell us what ones you hate. Tell us what ones you want to try. Tell us anything.
So actually, Alana, what would you say are your top 3 favorite horror video games, and which one do you absolutely loathe with every fiber of your being?
Okay. This is pretty easy. I worked at GameStop in high school, so I got to
Oh, I
test
didn't
a
know
lot of horror games. So,
that. Nice.
my top 3 favorite are probably 7 Days to Die. Um, it's not really horror, but it kind of has spooky elements to it. So, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim
Oh, I
and
love Skyrim.
yeah, and Friday the 13th the game. What one do I loathe? I don't really loathe it. I just never really got into it. I've played it a couple times, got past maybe the first 2 levels and then gave up, and that is Dead by Daylight.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. See, I thought you would have liked Dead by Daylight because
See,
they have all the like different killers and stuff, and I
yeah.
feel like that was totally up your alley.
Yeah, see, like I got through like I said, like the first like 2 levels and then I just gave up. Maybe I'll give it another chance though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gus says simulacra. I've never
Oh,
heard of that.
Simulacra. Oh my god, Simulacra is so good. You have to play it on your phone though,
Oh,
because
okay, that's
it's like a
why.
phone horror. It's like you find a cell phone basically, and so you
Ooh.
have to play it on your phone. So it's like you're actually doing. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll have to check
The
it out.
second one is kind of like meh, but the first one is excellent.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but now I have to check it out. Oh, another one. It's not really like horror, but I do like Among Us a lot too.
Okay, so I really like Among Us too, but can we just stop for a second and say flat out that Among Us is totally a ripoff of The Thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. A rip off of the thing. And the younger generation won't know that, or people who don't like horror wouldn't know that unless you've seen the thing. And I'm not just talking like John Carpenter's The Thing. I'm talking like the OG, like 1951 The Thing and John Carpenter's.
Right. What's interesting is the first version of The Thing, the old one, the black and white one, it didn't really fit with the book, which if any of
Right.
you don't know, the original book is called Who Goes There?
Yep.
And actually the second movie goes, I feel like it goes more along with it. And
Right.
also Kurt Russell is a total fucking babe,
Oh my
and
god.
I love him. So,
I loved
there's
him in
that.
Escape from New York. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I
And
still need to see that. I will admit it, I have not seen
he oh, yum. Yum. I love
it.
Kurt Russell.
Those
I mean
baby blues, man.
even now he's not bad looking. You consider he's what, like 65, 70-ish?
Yeah, well,
He's
did you see him in, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes, he
He makes
still
that
looks
quick
good.
cameo, yeah. Oh, those
Yeah.
eyes, man, those baby blues, they get me every time.
Yep, me too. It's always the eyes. It's like on Scarface when he goes, "The eyes, Cheeto, they never lie." Well, the eyes may never lie, but the eyes also reel you right the fuck in.
Right, yes, and as weavers, we know this because we are cursed with those baby blue eyes as well.
Oh, yeah, right? Although I was kinda lucky. Mine are kinda greenish, and then sometimes they turn gray. So sometimes I have blue, sometimes I have gray, sometimes I have
Oh,
green.
interesting.
Yeah, I inherited that from my mom's side. My uncle has one blue eye, one brown eye.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. So, like, when you're talking to him, you're just like, "Dude, like, let me just stare at your eyes." Like, you just look so creepy. Yep,
Well, I'd have
but
to say for horror movie or horror video games, my favorite it's hard because there are a lot that I love.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I love The Evil Within,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wouldn't say it's one of my top favorites because I feel like it even for today, it could have still used some polishing, and I think that's just Bethesda kinda lacking as they do. Because as much
Mhm.
as I loved Skyrim, it's like, you coulda done a little better.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like, even my car, I named my car Detective Sebastian Castellanos. So if you ever hear me call my car the detective, that's why.
You know
Um,
the last time I was in your car, I think you did call it the detective, and then we went into this huge conversation about the evil within, and I forgot all about it.
yeah. It's a good one. It's a good mind bender. I really like it for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I've played that a couple times.
yeah, and the second one is pretty good too. I really like the
Mhm.
second I thought they did a really good job on the second one. Um, oh my god, I could go on and on about that game. I love the concept of technology and the human mind
Right.
and like that collective consciousness kind of thing and how it can warp and change due to different people's brain chemistry basically.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and I would love for it to be a movie. Oh my god, someone Netflix, please make The Evil Within a movie. My god.
Dude,
Um,
Netflix picks up everything else, I might as well pick up The Evil Within.
yeah. But I would have to say then favorite horror movies or horror video games. My number one would probably be Visage,
Oh, yeah.
which a lot of people say is a ripoff of the PT trailer, but I kind of there's so much more to it though, even over the basic baseline of guy goes crazy and kills his whole family. There's
Mhm.
more to it, and just the little things like even when I watch playthroughs now,
Mhm.
I still get jump scared by shadows because
Yeah.
there's one shadow of a or in silhouettes because there's this one silhouette of a hanging plant at the top of the stairs, and every time I see it, I think it's a person standing at the top of the stairs. It freaks me out. It's just
Right.
little stuff like that, and that's what I love about horror movies too is the subtleties, like
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you
gore
know what?
and
Subtleties dude, and especially, like, okay, this didn't sound corny, but, like, the '80s movies were known for this. Like, you don't see the killer or the monster until you're very well into the movie most times.
yeah.
Unless it's Halloween and Friday the 13th, those 2 were kind of the exceptions to the rule, but you figure Nightmare on Elm Street, you really didn't see Freddy himself until, like,
Mhm.
halfway through the movie.
Or Friday the 13th because it's from the killer's perspective.
Right, exactly, like, yeah, you didn't even see Betsy Palmer until the end of the movie, which I have to tell you a fun fact about her, not to get off topic, but I learned this fun fact and I thought it was interesting. She hated Friday the 13th. She thought it was the worst script ever written, but she needed to buy a new car, and they offered her just enough for her to buy a new car, so she took the role.
Wow.
She looked at the script, threw it on the ground, and said, "This is a piece of shit. Nobody's ever gonna wanna watch this."
And then came the franchise that went on forever until the horrid god awful Jason 10 in space.
You know, when I was a kid, that was my favorite Friday the 13th, but looking back now, God, no. And Jason Goes to Hell, okay, I liked the movie. I hated the concept of the whole thing with the heart, which, if you haven't seen it, I'm about to fucking ruin it for everybody watching. I apologize, but
I mean, this
like,
whole podcast is like spoiler alerts.
yeah, pretty much. Like, we should just put a disclaimer on, just like, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this movie, do not listen to this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, the thing I hated was like how they had to eat his heart. Like, what? Like, why would they even want to do that? Like that was like,
See, I haven't seen it, so I can't say.
okay. Well, if you ever watch Jason Goes to Hell, it picks up right where Jason Tate's Manhattan leaves off, but they like, it's not Jason doing the killing. It's like, it's just like in A New Beginning, where it's somebody else, but they keep passing it on because his heart keeps like regenerating and like moving on to the next person. It's so fucking strange. And
So they have to eat it to keep it in separate parts so he can never regenerate?
no, they eat it so he can regenerate. So like, if they eat his heart, they will become him.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's like a mind fuck. Like, it's the weirdest shit I think I've ever seen, and I've seen Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh god, no thank you.
Yeah,
Hard pass. Hard
yeah.
pass.
I don't
Haven't even
recommend.
seen it, don't need to.
Don't recommend. Watched it once, never again. Especially if you know some of the backstory to that. So never again. But I have to say safely, Jason Goes to Hell was the strangest movie I've ever seen.
Alright. Is someone calling me right now?
I think so.
Calling me right now. I'm busy, sorry, love.
Well, while Jamie declines a spam call,
Yeah.
how many? Gus said.
I'm back.
Lauren said Big Trouble in Little China. Yes, love that movie. I love almost all of John Carpenter's movies, to be honest with you. I haven't really seen one that I didn't like.
I have not seen that one, to be honest. And
Yeah,
I have to agree, I love John Carpenter's movies. I just
yeah. See,
watched
like,
one a little while ago. I don't remember what it was, but I adored it.
he
You were
does.
very quiet for me ever since I got that call. How do I fix this? Can you mute
Oh,
yourself and then unmute yourself?
yes. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. How about now?
Still the same.
Okay, I'll just talk louder.
Okay.
um, but no, see, the thing is, with John Carpenter, like, I love all of his movies, and he does the same thing as Rob Zombie, but he does it very well. He uses the same actors, but he puts them in their respective parts. So, like, for example, you haven't seen Escape from New York, but Donald Pleasance plays the president of the United States. That's the perfect role for him. It's not just kind of like it's not just kind of like how with Rob Zombie, Sherry Moon is always the leading lady. No, like, John Carpenter casts appropriately, even though he's recycling his cast.
Mm.
And Gus said Blair Witch was pretty good. Yes, the original Blair Witch. I did not see the remake yet.
Yes. Okay, so I agree. A lot of people don't like the original Blair Witch, they say, because, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
But so much happens. The characters, they're losing their fucking minds the entire time. And you never
Exactly.
see the monster. So many people are like, oh, you never see the witch. What's the point? Because what you conjure up in your mind is the scariest version of her you're ever going to see.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
think that's genius. And they did that shit on like a $4,000 budget.
Right. And aside from that, that's not the first movie that you do that. Look at Nosferatu from 1929. Completely silent. Yes, you see the monster, you see the vampire, but there's no dialogue. But you don't need dialogue to know what the hell's going on. It's the same thing with Blair Witch. You don't, you create that own scenario in your head.
Right. Yeah.
And John said John Carpenter's Vampire is a true hidden gem. Yes, love vampires.
Oh, God. Yeah, and then the remake, or not the
Oh
remake, the
God, yeah.
sequel with Bon Jovi. Oh, yeah.
Yo, you know what that makes me
Good
think of?
times.
That makes me think of Slumber Party Massacre Part 2. Again, spoilers. I don't care, but the killer plays a guitar that doubles as an axe.
I think that's accurate because any guy on the college green that ever played a fucking guitar and was like, so, I'm so emotional and in touch with my feelings, they were kind of like hitting me in the face with an axe because it was like, oh my God, please shut the fuck up.
Exactly. No offense to guitarists, I still love you.
No, I'm just salty. I have a rule. Rule number
I don't.
10, never date a guitarist. That's just me.
I still love you though.
But we're getting way off
Uh,
topic. So,
yeah, we're way
my
off topic
second
and
favorite horror video game would have to be Alien Isolation.
ooh,
That's
okay.
one a lot of people don't know about. And if you don't know about it, so you play as Ripley's daughter, and she's looking for her mother.
Okay.
And they get a call to this space station because the black box of the Nostromo is there. And so Amanda Ripley, Ripley's daughter, goes there to find out what happened to her mother, and all hell breaks loose. And it's so good. The way they do this game is you don't see the alien right away. You
Mhm.
don't. It's just like little things and humanity falling apart and people turning against each other. And you get focused on your goals of what you have to do and finding your friends. And then all of a sudden
Right.
the alien appears and it's just like, holy shit, this just got real. And
Yeah.
it's a suspense roller coaster the entire time. Like you don't get weapons that even touch the alien until like 3/4 of the way through the game. And it's so excellent. And they need to come out with a sequel because the way it ended was not okay. They just left it on a cliffhanger.
Mhm. I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. My ex, I watched him play through it. And there was this one part where he was, because you can like go in these vents and you can go under the floors into these vents, and he was in one of them and he was trying to figure out what he was doing, and he
Oh.
turned around and all of a sudden this alien just like comes crawling at him like super fast, and it's just,
Yeah.
oh, it was terrifying. It was awesome. It was great.
Yo, that would be
Definitely
good
check
in
it out.
virtual reality. That would be
Oh
good in
my God. And
virtual reality.
they did a VR version. I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty
Yo, I
sure
would
I
have
would
to
shit
check
my
out the
pants if I
VR
played it.
version, to be honest with you. Um, but I'll tell you, one that I liked, and a lot of people don't know about this. It's kind of like obscure, but I found it when I was working at GameStop. And it's called Soul Suspect. And it's okay. It's like this game, and it's about this guy, and he's a vigilante, and he's shot and killed, right? And he tries to avenge his murder by going after and trying to find the person who did it. But along the way, he encounters all these ghosts because they're trying to drag him to hell because of what he did as a vigilante. So you have to fight the ghosts, and then you have to go through, and there's like little like side missions, like like this isn't a mission, but for example, like save a cat from a tree, like like a side mission type thing.
Right.
So it's a very strange game, and if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. But I can seriously say that was one of probably the best games I've played. Um, it's on Xbox, it's on PS4. I don't know if it's on PC. I have it for the PS4. I beat it on Xbox. I haven't played it on PS4 yet though.
I feel like
Um,
everything is on PC, fortunately, because there's so
yeah,
many good ones, that it's only exclusive on Xbox or it's only exclusive on Sony, and it's just pain in the
right.
ass. So I feel like PC is just the way to go, even though I am a PlayStation girl all the
Me
way.
too. I want to build a gaming PC, but I don't have the room for it right now.
Mm,
I mean, I do not have the room. As much as I'd like to say it, I would like an Alienware, but I don't have the
yeah.
room. John says Evil Dead video games. Never played those. I played The Walking Dead.
Yeah, the Evil Dead ones. Oh God, I haven't seen them in so long. Probably since, yeah, the guy I was dating in high school, he was playing one of them, and I remember liking it because I love Evil Dead and I love Army of Darkness and I
Oh yeah.
love Ash versus Evil Dead.
Hell yeah.
Um, so I think it was pretty true to like the humor and the
Yeah.
lore and stuff. But I haven't seen them in a long time, so I can't really say that for sure.
Well, the interesting thing was Evil Dead was one of the first horror movies of the early 80s to receive an NC-17 rating.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones. Most of them were R-rated, but they actually had to edit it down because Evil Dead was almost rated X because of the graphic nature of it. I don't know. I love the part where the monster goes, "I'll swallow your soul." I used to have that as my ringtone when I was like 12. So that's mildly alarming, but
No, I
there's
think
that.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was literally just like, "I'll swallow your soul, I'll swallow your soul," and then, like, I'd be, like, in Walmart or something, or I was notorious for forgetting to turn my phone down in class, and one time it went off, and everybody just looked at me, I was like, "Oh, shit."
Was me.
Mhm.
I wonder if it had that rating because his dead girlfriend who crawls out of the grave and
I
is
th
topless.
Yeah,
So not only is she topless, but she's dead. So it's like, and claymation. So, undead claymation boobs are very bad.
See, you would think that that's why, but there's other movies who had done that. For
Mm,
example, like there was movies prior to that that had done that. And there was movies after that that had done that. A big example I can think of is Return of the Living Dead, where there's a scene where this girl just strips naked and starts dancing in the graveyard. Like,
yeah.
so I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's because like some of the scenes in Evil Dead were graphic for the time because you figure, I mean, even Halloween wasn't that graphic. It was kind of like
That's very
Psycho.
true.
It had suggest violence. Like you had to kind of guess what was going on. And Friday the 13th, anytime somebody got killed, it would have the white screen. And I always called it the white screen of death. And it would just fade out. And John says
Hmm.
the tree scene. Yeah, exactly. The tree scene, the scene in the very beginning with Barry and Claudette, the two counselors, yeah, exactly. It was all suggest.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but you have to figure though, why wasn't Friday the 13th rated that? Because there's that part where the counselor's thrown through the window and she's already dead. And the guy with the arrow through his eye.
Maybe because it's so quick and they don't
Yeah.
really focus
Yeah,
on it,
that's
but
kind of
like
yeah,
in Evil Dead, like you watch him cut off his hand.
true. But today that's more accepted. For example, Truth or Dare, the lady cuts off her foot.
Right, yeah.
Now it's more accepted than it was back then. Back then you would have uh the Karens and
Right.
there was this one. I don't want to say the name because with my luck I would like get sued for like calling her out, but there was this one politician's wife who like is the reason for the parental advisory on music, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And I feel like she would have just been like that Karen that would have just been sitting in the movies and she's like, "I'm not letting my kid watch this." Okay, well, you really shouldn't let your kid watch an NC-17 horror movie if they're under the age of 17 any damn way.
Right.
I mean, I was raised on horror. I turned out fine, but
Same.
it wasn't like X-rated or NC-17, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was just like corny, like suggest horror, but like some of the shit today, bro, I would not show my children that if I had kids.
Oh no, like the new Evil Dead, which I really like. I'm not big
Mhm.
on remakes, but I did like it. They did a few
Mhm.
call outs to the original, which I appreciate. Um, but like the tree rape scene,
Yeah.
there's no doubt that that's tree rape. She's getting
Yeah.
raped by a tree. It's horrible and I hated it.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't let any kid watch that. But like my oldest nephew, Joey, when he was 5 years old, I let him watch the first Halloween, because it's
Exactly.
suggested.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's different. I mean, even like in Halloween, the set scene between Bob and Linda, it's suggested. You just hear it. You don't really see it.
Right. And you only see her tits like once.
Yeah. And then, but like I said, like modern day horror movies, dude, absolutely not. I would not let my children watch them. So, dude, some of them I have a hard time getting through.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah, me too.
I did watch a good one today. It was very strange, but it was on Hulu. It's called Spree.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. You'll have to
Yeah.
send me the info on that one.
Yeah, the guy who plays Steve in Stranger Things is in it. He's like the lead role.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like the lead psycho.
Hmm.
He's hot
Dude,
though.
we are getting so off topic. We always
Mhm.
do this.
Mhm.
Um, so my third favorite horror movie would be Layers of Fear.
Oh yeah.
Um, that's another one that it's subtlety and like, is this really happening or is the main character going crazy? And I love that kind of shit. And there's a lot of suspense and oh my god, the graphics are just beautiful and amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I really love. I did not like the second one as much, even though Tony Todd did some voice acting for it.
I love Tony
He
Todd.
voice acted the director, and I
Mhm.
love Tony Todd. But I felt like it flopped. Like it was going somewhere. They had a story for it, and then they were just like, "Oh shit, we have to end this somehow. Let's just do this, I guess."
Right.
And it
Right.
just it wasn't good. But the first one I really liked. I liked that one a lot. And I wouldn't say that I can't think of offhand of a horror video game that I hate. Um, I mean,
I was just
obviously
gonna
there's
ask
some
you
bad
that.
ones out there.
Which one don't you like? Yeah. See,
No.
and it's like I said, for me, it's not really that I hate them. It's just that like I didn't really give it enough of a chance to like it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can honestly say though, a game I haven't played and really don't want to, just because it doesn't even look scary as Five Nights at Freddy's. I think I played it like one time, literally once, got past the intro and was like, "That's enough. This isn't even scary."
Yeah, I mean, God, and so many people are gonna like bash on us for this, but I don't get the hype behind Five Nights at Freddy's because I feel like
Exactly.
it's the same as those mobile games of like, you're a barista and you have to fill all these orders and you have to do 10 things at once and make sure this doesn't happen when this happens and blah blah blah. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing, just with jump scares.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's it.
And the
And
thing is, I do not like jump scares. And I
mhm.
don't remember which comedian said it, but there's a comedian that said jump scares are cheap. And it's like, if you tickle me and I laugh, it doesn't mean you're funny,
Mhm.
you know? So if you do a jump scare and I jump, it doesn't mean you're scary. It means you startled me.
Exactly.
Build
Exactly.
the suspense. Do
Yeah.
something creepy. Make my
Right.
skin crawl and make it hard for me to fall asleep at night.
Right. And I feel like especially Five Nights at Freddy's fails to achieve that. Like, I can admit it has like some creepy overtones, but like nothing that like I'd be like, "Oh my god, I don't ever want to experience that game ever again."
Right.
I want to play a game, finish a game and say I never want to play this game ever again because it's that scary. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, but that should be the point of horror games. For example, I don't know if you've ever played Friday the 13th. You can play as a counselor or a killer. So you can play as Jason or you can play as one of the camp counselors. When you play as a counselor, um, that is probably one of the scariest like strategy games that I think I've ever played. And the reason
Mm.
being is because you have a certain amount of weapons. You can put out three um what the hell are those things called? Those traps that fold up when you step on them, you know what I
A
mean?
bear
They're like
trap?
out. Yeah. Yeah. You have 3 bear traps, you have 1 knife, and you have, like, this, like, sixth sense to see when he's around. But you don't know when Jason is gonna, like, come for you, like, the music doesn't get eerie, he just comes right at you, and you don't even have
Mm.
a chance to fight back. So, to me, I think that that is scary because you're caught so far off guard, like, you're not even expecting it. Like, you can
Right.
go through all the cabins, right? And you'll just be chilling, like, going through when I play video games, I like to like go through random rooms to like I don't know why. I do it with
Oh
Grand Theft
yeah,
Auto
whenever
too.
oh my
Like,
god, don't ever
yeah.
try to watch me play Skyrim or Fallout because I go through every tiny little thing.
Yeah, me too.
It's ridiculous.
Me too. But, you'll just be like trying to go through the cabins and all of a sudden you'll turn around and he'll come right through the wall. Like you won't even see him. He'll come right through the wall. And then
Mm.
he's loose in the house and you don't know where he is. And like I
Oh,
said, to me, not really scary, but it's more or less like a challenging strategy. And it's the fact of you don't know where he is. He could be anywhere.
right.
Yeah. Love
And
that
then
game.
it's that suspense building,
Exactly.
and I really
Exactly.
like that. And I think that's okay, so the big thing right now is Resi 8, Resident Evil 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I have thoughts on that. Resident Evil 7, which 8 is a continuation of.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it because it had more suspense building. It had the action and the horror very well balanced.
Right.
Because I don't know if have you ever played any of the Resi games?
The first two.
Okay. So as you go on, God, like Resi 6 was so action packed. It was like Michael Bay directed this shit. Like it was, and Chris Redfield is just like this jacked motherfucker, and he's gonna kill every bad guy and save the day with
Right.
just his testosterone alone. And
Just his
don't get me wrong, I
testosterone
love
alone.
playing it. It was fun.
Which, by the
But
way, I don't mean to get off topic, but I have to tell this story really quick. That now that you
yeah.
mentioned testosterone, me and my friend were at the gym before I came on here, which is why I was late. But we pulled into the parking lot, and this guy, he was jacked, like full on dude, bro, right? Like full on jacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets in his car. Now, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting him to play like either like rap music or country. He gets in his car and you hear this fucking dude, bro, blaring death metal as loud as he can, and he's fucking screaming along to it. I'm like, good for you, dude, bro. Like, like you could just feel the testosterone coming off this guy. And I was like, dude, I was not expecting that guy to listen to that kind of music. I mean, that's so cool, but I definitely was not expecting that.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 6 was super action packed.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7 came out and it was so different because you're just like Joe Schmo off the street.
Right.
And you have to figure out what's going on. You don't have any military training. You get like one gun for a while. You only have one. It's just like a pistol. And you don't even get that till later. And like for a little bit you only have a knife. And
Wow.
it's scary. Like you can't beat the bad guys until it's
Mm-hmm.
like a boss fight. Like there's no, like, don't even try. And it's a lot of story building, and you get a lot of documents that you read, and a lot of there's cinematics and stuff, and it builds the story. And it was fantastic, and I loved it. 8 comes out and it's good, but it's not as good. I love the scenery, I love the environment. It's like classic Dracula and
Mm-hmm.
Frankenstein and all of it rolled up into one, and I loved it. But the story I felt was very lacking. I feel like it was just kind of thrown together real quick, and I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled with it. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they dropped the ball for sure.
That makes me think of that meme that I think I just sent you recently, and it just says, Hulk Hogan needs help in Resident Evil, and it just says, help me, brother, on the wall.
Yeah.
That's what that makes me think of. I was just like, the whole time you were describing Resi 6, I was just like, help me, brother. That's all I was thinking about. So, like, if you saw me like slightly smiling, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the meme. I was like, dude, that's actually really
Right.
funny.
Well, and so many memes have come out because of Lady Dimitrescu, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone loves her. And I just gotta say, okay, so all our lives, it's always been guys don't want to date tall girls. Guys
Mm-hmm.
don't like their girlfriends to wear heels. They don't want their girl to be taller than them. And then Lady Dimitrescu comes along and they're all jizzing their pants.
Yeah, right? Yo, same thing with Harley Quinn, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
And
dude,
that was another thing I had an issue with about Resi 8 was that I love the castle scene and I love Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters, and they hyped it up big time. That's how they sold this game.
right.
Was, the super tall vampire lady with the huge yabos, and and then you beat her within like the first 2 hours of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just
Right.
it's a bummer. And not because I know a lot of people were bummed, like she turns into this gross monster and then you kill her. It's like, of course she turns into a big gross monster. This is Resident Evil. What were you expecting?
Yeah,
Like
right?
candlelight dinner? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, if you
Of
wanna
course
save
she's
a
a giant fucking monster.
Dude, if you wanna
Um,
save a princess, they'll fucking play Super Mario where you save Princess
yeah,
Peach.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Um, But I was bummed that they hyped her story up so much, and then they just
Right.
like, it's over now.
Right.
It was a bummer. I felt like there was so much there for, the story's sake, and they just didn't take that opportunity.
Right. I feel like a lot of video games drop the ball, and a game I would really like to see is Halloween, and they released it for the Atari way back in 81. But I'd like to see an updated version, and I'm not talking like 2018 Michael Myers. I'm talking like 78 or 81 Michael.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very shocked that they never did that, and I feel like they had the opportunity and now it's gone. Unless they would miraculously release it this year with the release of Halloween Kills, I doubt
Yes.
we're ever gonna see a Halloween video game. As much as I'd love to, because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Friday 13th, I love it, and you can play that on PC too. I've heard it's way better on PC, honestly.
Everything's better on PC.
True, true. For example, The Sims.
Oh my god, The Sims.
Dude, you can do so much more on Sims on PC than you can on PlayStation. And
It's insane
and I
how
don't
much
know
more you can
why.
do.
I don't know why. I wonder if maybe because Sims started off on PC and like that's like its primary console and then it just kind of branched out from there.
I think it's just because a computer has so much more data storage that it's able to run so many different things at once. It makes it
Right.
smoother. You can control things easier. So again, it's smoother. It's not as clunky.
Yeah.
And then mods. Oh my god. Once you
Dude,
play Skyrim on a PC with mods, you'll never go back to a
dude,
console.
dude,
Ever.
I've played it on PC. I fucking love it. I would I had it on my old shitty little laptop I had like when I was in ninth grade. Um I had a lot of computer games on there. I had Oblivion, I had Skyrim, and I had The Sims, and I forget what the hell else. I think that was when I downloaded Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like I pirated that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't pirate that. But I had those downloaded and then the computer crashed. So
Oh
I lost all my
no.
data and I never got around to re-downloading Skyrim on the computer. And it's very hard to download computer games on a Mac. Um so I
Mm,
just haven't done it. So I've been like playing it on PS4.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had a PC to play anything on since me and my ex split up. I mean, I have my laptop, but it can
Yeah.
only handle like Minecraft,
Yeah. Oh, that's
which
another
I
game
love.
I had. Yeah, I had Minecraft on my old laptop too. So mad that that computer crashed. But then again, you have to remember I did overload it with like Five Nights at Freddy's, Minecraft.
Porn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No comment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wish to invoke my Fifth Amendment. Um But no, yeah, I was one of those kids who like constantly gave the family computer viruses, not just through Napster and like LimeWire, but I used to go on addictinggames.com
Mm,
and after a while you started to get viruses off of addicting games, so that was the end of that.
yeah. I think back in the day, one of my favorite PC horror-ish games was Blood Rain, because who
Yes.
doesn't want to be a hot as fuck vampire killing Nazis?
Yes, nobody talks about Blood Rain, bro.
I know,
Nobody.
and they need to do a reboot so bad. The movie was atrocious. It was fucking horrible.
Yo,
All of
speaking
them
of
were.
speaking of atrocious movies that came from video games, let's talk about it. Tomb Raider.
See, I never really played the games, so I can't make a judgment call on that one.
Well, the movie was terrible. I'm just gonna make that known. I apologize to anybody who may enjoy the Tomb Raider movie. I personally would rather put toothpicks in my eyeballs than watch that again. Um, just calling it like I see it. But yo, you know what else I'd like? I'd really like an It video game.
That would be good.
But
Ooh, if you were like a side character, like just some random ass kid in the town,
that's my
and then it
point.
was like a
Yeah.
side story, choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, see, like, because
Ooh.
I don't mind playing the villain, but I wouldn't wanna be Pennywise because I would wanna just, like, watch everything as it's happening in the game. Like you said, like, be a side character, like, you have your own adventure. Like, for example, like, let's say you're, like, in the sewers of Derry and you have your option, you can turn back, go straight, go yeah, that's the right. Anyway, turn back, go straight, go left, go right. And like you have all these choices, kind of like a Life is Strange, is
Oh
how
my
I'd
god,
like to
I
see
fucking
it.
love Life is Strange.
Dude, I know, I finally finished it. I got the prequel and yeah, I got the prequel now. I'm starting a prequel.
Nice.
Yeah. I fucking loved Life is Strange. And I knew when I told you that I got Life is Strange, you're like, that game's addicting, bro. I finished it in like 2 days.
I know. When I first got it, I finished it in within 24 hours. I fucking loved it so much.
Yo,
Chloe
I was
Price is she's
bro,
everything.
I
I love
was
her.
not expecting that ending.
It breaks your fucking heart, right?
Dude, yeah, and bro, like I never would have suspected the teacher like all along. To be honest with you, I always thought it was Chloe.
Really?
Yes, I always thought it was.
Oh.
Always.
Hmm. That
Yeah.
would have been a hell of a twist.
Dude, right? But I feel like the teacher was an even bigger twist though, because you don't even expect him from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, like I Chloe, you can expect. She's like a character you would expect to be, but not the teacher. I was like, damn. I heard the prequel is like um years before, and it just focuses. I think it just focuses on Chloe. I could be wrong though.
Yeah,
Chloe
so it
and
focuses on Chloe and Rachel Amber.
yeah, yeah, I thought
And
so.
the interesting thing is, okay, when you play it, I have kind of gathered you're kind of like with me with video games, you have to like look at every single little thing and
Yeah.
listen to every single little thing. It's very, very subtle, and I'm gonna ruin this for you for a little, just a teensy bit, because so many people miss it
Hmm.
because they make it so subtle. But there are hints that Rachel Amber also has some sort of powers, the way that Max does, but it
Right.
doesn't have to do with time. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, you know what? They kind of touch on that in the first one though too, because they're always saying how oh well, Rachel was special and this and that. They kind of touch on that, and the teacher does too at the very end. He kind of touches on it, but it's like you said, it's very subtle. So I'd like to see
Yeah,
that they go more into it in the prequel. I'd like that a lot.
yeah. So if
Yeah, and
none of
it's
you have ever played Life is Strange, for the love of God, play it. It's beautiful.
yes,
It makes me
yes.
cry, and I
I
love it so much.
didn't I didn't start. Well, technically it's two, but it's the prequel. But you get my point.
Yeah.
I didn't start the second one yet. I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 11. Because I just thought that, and it's not horror related at all, but it's currently one of my favorite games. Two, number one being Animal Crossing on the Switch. No shame, no shame. I love Animal Crossing. And number two is SpongeBob: The Battle for Bikini Bottom. I've been trying to beat it for a year now, and I can't. Bro, I'm like stuck on this one level, and like after a while, I just get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? I give up. I'm going to playing Grand Theft Auto.
There you go.
Yeah, like I just,
Get out
I just
that
get
frustration.
frustrated. See, I feel like one day I'll beat it. For example, when Grand Theft Auto 5 first came out in 2013, I beat it in 12 hours, and I bought it again on PS4, and I didn't even bother to beat it. I just played on free mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Aaliyah
once they made
says
it so you could customize your own character, like, get the fuck out of here. That's all I want to
exactly.
do.
Exactly. It's perfect. Aaliyah says Animal Crossing, Alana. Yes, I love playing Animal Crossing, inviting people to my island and hitting them with my fishing net.
So, like, real life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, so how much do you know about like indie horror games?
Um, not too much to be honest with you.
Okay,
Um,
because like Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of in there because it wasn't like a big development team. or a big
Right.
studio that it came out of.
Right.
There
That
are some others,
Five Nights
which
at
I think
Freddy's
you'll. What's that?
Five Nights at Freddy's and the Slender Man game are the only two, like, indie ones I know.
Okay. Yeah, the Slender Man ones are pretty good. One I think you'll really like is Outlast and Outlast 2. They're
Okay.
real. So Outlast, the first one, it takes place in a mental hospital,
Ooh,
and it's
okay.
fucking nuts. It's really
Yeah.
good. And that's another one. You have to pick up the pieces of evidence and read the documents and stuff because it builds a story.
Mhm.
And the second one is it's subtly, you have to find the right document to tie one and two together.
Right.
But the second one is about a cult.
Ooh.
And I know, you and me and both are like, we don't want to be in a cult, but we love shit about cults.
Exactly, exactly.
So that one's really good too. Disturbing in many areas, but very good.
Most cults are disturbing though, just
Yes.
saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean really, when did any cult experience end with a happy ending?
Exactly. Oh shit, we have somebody in the comments who's heard of Outlast. Aaliyah says the Outlast games are really good.
Oh, they are. There's and I mean, especially if you like documentary style horror movies, because you're looking through a
Ooh.
camera the entire time and you get night vision and stuff. So
Yo, that's
it's
so
really good.
cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It
I'll have
it
to check it out.
brought this whole different dynamic to video games.
I'll have to check that out.
Definitely. Look up some playthroughs of it. If you don't like commentary, I recommend MK Ice and Fire. They play
Mhm.
like everything, and there's no commentary at all.
I like it's a simple name, but my brain is fried. I think it's because I just finished this monster. Oh my god. Let's Play. I like them a lot because they just play and sometimes they add commentary and they're like, "Yeah, I do this or that or the next thing."
Mm-hmm.
Um Yes, Aaliyah, we were just talking about the new Resident Evil. I don't know if you missed it, but Jamie just went on like a whole spiel on that. She said, "Did you guys hear anything about the new Resi games? I love the old ones, but haven't really tried the newer ones." Jamie can answer that question. I only played the old ones.
Yeah, so
Aaliyah, remember when I used to come to your house and we'd play Resi?
the first Resi game I
Go
ever
ahead.
played was
You're good.
4 on the Wii. And it's
Mhm.
like,
Oh my god, you played that on the Wii,
oh
bro?
god, it was a nightmare. But as I was saying before, is I like the newer ones. So 5 and 6, the super action packed ones, like they're good. They're enjoyable for like shooting zombies in the face and big bad
Hell yeah.
boss fights and shit. But then 7 I really liked because it took a turn and it was just like horror. It was you're a nobody, you have no training, you're just Joe Schmo off the street and you're dealing with this shit. And you get one gun later on, and you don't get any other kind of firepower until way later. And um and I like that because it creates more suspense, it creates more of a challenge. And then 8 I really like, but not as much 7, because I feel like they dropped the ball on the story.
Right.
Because in 7 you get tons of documents about like what's going on, and you get cinematics out the wazoo, and I love it. It's like you're playing a movie. But in
Mhm.
8 it's more kind of reminiscent of 6, where it's a lot of action shit. But I will say, again, for action shit, the Resi 2 remake was good.
Mhm.
um I like that it was a lot of puzzle solving. I like that. And I like that Mr. X was like someone you just could not beat. Like he was just terrifying and scary, and no matter what you threw at him, he was still coming after you. And just the slow, loud footsteps, like that
Dude,
shit.
I know.
Love it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I was talking, me and Aaliyah grew up together and I used to go to her house and we would either play The Simpsons Hit and Run on PS2. Um, we'd play Wii Sports or Resi 1 and 2. So that's how I
Mm.
got acquainted with Resident Evil because otherwise, I wasn't a fan of the movies
No, and if you ask
at
anyone who has ever
all.
played the games, they will tell you the movies are fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like The Hobbit. Like I enjoyed the books. I absolutely hated the Hobbit movies. In fact, I think I got through the very first one and I never even bothered to watch the other two.
See, it's interesting because I watched the Hobbit movies, the first two first, and
Mhm.
then before the third one, or was it, or were there just two? I don't know. Before the very last one came out, I read the book. So I read it
Yeah.
in between, and I liked them both. But maybe
Yeah.
if I'd read the book first, I'd have a different feel on it.
Right. She said, "I've seen part of a walkthrough for 7, haven't seen anything for 8. What loved the remake for 2, but 3 made me sad because they changed the game so much."
I didn't even see three, to be completely honest. It was like, I feel like they just kind of dropped it. They're like, here you go, there's that. Take that
Yo,
if you want.
yeah, yo, it reminds me of it's one quote from Shrek where Shrek just goes, "It's one of those drop it and leave it alone things."
Yeah.
I use that quote constantly. I'm just like, "No, it's one of those drop it and leave it alone things." Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's what it was, because I heard, oh yeah, they're remaking three as well, and that's coming out soon, and then it did, and then no one talked about it.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Like I swear people just like drop the ball. Like when they
yeah,
like they'll hype up a game for like 2 weeks, sometimes 2 months, depends on if it gets enough hype generated, but then they'll just be like, "Yep, okay, this game doesn't exist anymore. I've never heard of it."
right, yeah,
She said, "Wasn't a fan of the movies except for Nemesis, but RE3 original was my favorite game." Yeah, see, I wasn't a fan of the movies either.
yeah. The first one was like okay, I didn't mind it.
Right.
Excuse me, and then after that, it was just like it was too much. It was just they weren't sci-fi originals, but they felt like sci-fi originals.
Dude, okay, but I have to admit, when I was in my Edward Furlong phase, I unfortunately watched that sci-fi original Arachnoquake like at least 12 times just to see his brief cameo in it. Even though by that point he looked like shit from years of hard drug use, I just needed to see his cameo. So I watched that movie like 12 fucking times when it first came out. So leave my sci-fi originals alone.
No, don't get me wrong. I love sci-fi originals. Me and my dad, we bonded over them. We watched
Yeah,
them all the time and laughed at how stupid they were, and we loved
exactly.
them. But for something like Resident Evil, it's like everything's made for you. It's like someone handing you a cake with the recipe and saying, "Here you go, make your own version." And they're just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Nope."
Nope. Yeah. Dude, and I feel like a lot of movies do that. Like, for example, and I'm gonna go back to it. I will always be salty over it. Sorry, not sorry. Halloween. They had everything from part 1 and 2 on their plate for 2018 and they ignored it.
Mm,
Specifically, they ignored part 2, and that drove me insane. You built this entire franchise around the fact that Lori was Michael's sister, and then Jamie was the daughter of Lori, so she was Michael's niece. You build an entire franchise around that. You get to the remake, you say, "Nope, that never happened." What? You just built the entire friggin' franchise on it. And it's like you said, it's like, "Here you go, everything's done. You just have to make it your own." And they said, "Nope."
yeah. And I probably would have noticed that, but I'm not gonna lie. I was super drunk and stoned when I watched the 2018 version.
Well, you're gonna have to watch it again
Yeah.
when you're sober. Um,
Yes.
I saw it in the movie theaters. The first night it came out. It was funny. I was working until 10 o'clock, and me, Jordan, and Jordan's now boyfriend. At the time, they weren't dating, which it's funny because at the time we all went to the movie together. And I sat in the middle of them. I was like the monkey in the middle. I was like the the
The
cheese in
buffer.
between the bagel. I don't know. That was a bad analogy. um, but I remember seeing it, and I just looked over and I said, "Dude, they did not just ignore the fact that part 2 happened." And Jordan was like, "Yep." And I was like, "Oh my god." I also saw It Chapter 1 in theaters. Now, I was disappointed in the remake of It, and I'll tell you why. a lot of people maybe I'm just nuts. I don't know. A lot of people in the theater were like screaming at the jump scares. I didn't even think it was scary at all. Like that part where like the guy who's playing Pennywise comes out of the fridge because he's a legit contortionist. Like everybody was like
Yeah.
screaming at that. I was just like, dude, that's so cool.
Well, it's like we also have to consider that, we can't really put our movie experiences against anyone else's because we were raised on horror movies.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
like that shit doesn't totally scare us, but I will say, so when I saw the first one, uh thank you, Rachel. Um she convinced me to go to an IMAX theater to see it. And I always thought IMAX theaters were bullshit, like whatever, I'm paying like what, an extra $15 a ticket for louder volume, like this is bullshit. But
Oh
it's
no.
it's definitely more than that, and I don't really know how to explain it, but it was just like they have something set up where like with each of the monster's steps, you can feel the floor vibrating, and it's just like it's
Damn.
intense. So
Yeah.
that was the first movie I'd ever seen in an IMAX theater, so it was intense. And
Yeah.
there were just some little things like the kid in the library without a head
Oh
from the
yeah,
Easter
yeah,
egg hunt,
yeah.
and how he's like that stop motion movement. Stop
Yeah.
motion movement freaks me the fuck out beyond no end. Like, if anyone comes at me with that shit, I'm punching you in the face and I am not apologizing.
So
Like,
I'm assuming you
it
don't like
gets me.
Coraline.
What's that?
I'm assuming you don't like Coraline.
I love That's the thing. I love
See,
Coraline.
okay, everybody shits on that movie. I saw that movie in theaters also.
Why?
Um, saw it in theaters, and I'll admit sometimes I shit on it too, but that's only because I haven't watched it in a long time. I can't find anywhere to watch it, and I'm mad that I can't because I want to watch it again. But I actually didn't hate Coraline. I also really liked Corpse Bride. Like I got that on VHS when I was a kid, and I
Yeah.
love Corpse Bride. Love it.
Oh no, I really like both of those movies,
Yeah,
and the book Coraline was really good too.
yeah.
And if you like that, then oh god, it's called The Graveyard Book, also by Neil Gaiman, is excellent. That's an excellent, excellent book. I
I'll
love
have
it.
to check that out. I'll have to check that out. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I will tell you one movie I never got into from that, relates to Coraline and Corpse Bride, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Sorry guys, Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry.
And then Alana entered the witness protection program.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I'm just there you go. Don't even recognize me, do you?
I mean, I know
um,
what you mean. Like, there's so much hype around it. And
right,
at
like
work, there's so much fucking hype around it. And it's
like
like, it is a super cute movie, and it's nostalgic, and I love it for that. But also,
exactly.
like, I don't know why goth and emo kids are coming over it. Like,
Right. Like, I don't hate it. I've watched it. I do watch it, when it's on TV sometimes, but I I think part of it is because the only two musicals I really like are Oklahoma and Grease and The Wizard of Oz. So that's three. I'm not a big fan of musical movies at all.
mm-mm.
Like I watched Rocket Man, me and my mom, and we got through like the first 20 minutes because I thought it was like a biopic. I thought it was gonna be like Bohemian Rhapsody
Right.
and Notorious and all that shit. We're like, obviously there's music in it because it's about a musician, but no, Rocket Man is a full-on fucking musical, and I was like,
I
yikes.
don't dig musicals, man.
I mean, I was in a bunch of musicals when I was in theater, and like I said, I like Oklahoma, I like The Wizard of Oz, I like Grease. That's about it. That's as far as I go with musicals.
I think the only musical I can stand is Sweeney Todd, and it's only because he's killing people. I don't know what that says about me, but there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, Aaliyah says, wait, do you like hairspray? Oh my God. Good morning, Baltimore. Yes, I do like hairspray. Unfortunately, though, kind of tired of it because when I was in high school, when I would stay over my aunt's house, she would constantly watch hairspray, which, by the way, Aunt Kim, if you're watching this, I still love you, but Now every morning I wake up and scream "Good Morning Baltimore" from Hairspray, and it's a struggle.
Yeah.
Because I don't live in Baltimore and I really don't want to wake up singing that, but I do. So to answer if I like Hairspray, I don't hate it. I would be content if I didn't watch it for another 5 years. It's been like 5 years since I've watched it. I'd be content if I went another 5 years. Um, like I said, no disrespect, but I really have to be in the mood for a musical, and it's the same thing with oh my god, what the hell's that other one? Phantom of the Opera. I have to be in the mood to watch that movie.
See, I've never seen it.
Like I have to want to watch it. And
Mm.
it's shocking that I did theater as long as I did because like I have to be in the mood to watch like a really long movie or a musical. For example, I have never seen the Godfather trilogy in its entirety. I think I watched half of the first one, half of the second one, and got bored because it's too long for me.
Same.
It's too long.
Not so much that I got bored, but like because it's so long and drawn out,
Yeah.
I end up having to like get up and do other stuff, and I get distracted and shit, and so I'll
Right.
miss pieces, and
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on. I've
Yeah.
seen the in full. I saw the first one a long, long time ago, and then I saw half of the second one, and that's it. But it's
Right.
definitely one I want to watch, and a book I want to read because my mom said it's the best book she's ever read.
Yeah, okay, I can agree. Mario Puzo does a really good job on that one. There's also another one. Oh my dear God, I forget what it's called. My mom read it. It's the one where it's like the female Godfather, but it's called something different. I don't remember what it's called. Aaliyah
Mm,
said, "I'm sorry, I feel like I'm randomly making comments." No, 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 that's fine, dude.
no, that's what we're here for, dude.
We always get off topic. Like as you see, it took Jamie 45 minutes to get through her top 3 video games.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
this happens all the time. Like we enjoy the engagement. We enjoy having conversations, and I feel like everybody else left. So
Yeah, and I think we
so
get so distracted because we just have so much
much to
material to work
say.
with.
Yeah,
It's like this podcast, oh my god, it could go on for a long time,
it definitely
like just
could.
because we have so much. And on that, you had mentioned Phantom of the Opera. One episode we should do, because it reminded me of Phantom of the Megaplex, which was a Disney Channel original.
Okay,
We should talk
yes.
about Disney Channel original scary movies.
Dude.
Don't Look Under the Bed was my favorite.
Now, okay, I know you were older when this one was released, but I was not. It was released in 2008. Did you ever see Mostly Ghostly?
No.
Dude, do you have Disney Plus?
Mhm.
Okay, you have to watch Mostly Ghostly, but you have to watch the first one. It's a Disney Channel original. The corniest shit I've ever seen, but it reminds me a lot of Don't Look Under the Bed. Same
Okay.
thing with same thing with The Haunting Hour, Don't Think About It by R.L. Stine. Corniest movie I have ever seen in my life, and I've seen some gems, let me tell you. I watched Blood Diner voluntarily. If you haven't seen Blood Diner, if you have seen Blood Diner, you'll know, and you'll look at me and you'll say, Alana, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's not that the movie's gross, it's just stupid. Like, it literally made zero sense. So, you know, I can safely say that Haunting Hour was stranger than Blood Diner.
Okay.
Yeah, so you gotta check that out. But yeah, I want to do that. Would be awesome if we could do a segment on that. But Haunting Hour was a Cartoon Network one, but I would be willing to deviate considering we always deviate from the podcast anyway.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expected at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely Disney Channel originals. I can tell you my favorite Disney Channel original right now, and that is the entire Halloween Town series.
Yes. Okay, so I haven't seen any past the second one,
Oh my gosh. Halloween
but
Town High and Return
I
to
love them.
Halloween Town. When I was a when I was a kid, I used to constantly watch the first one and the last one for literally no reason. Obviously I've seen Calabar's Revenge and Halloween Town High, but my two favorite ones were the first one and the last one. Still not sure why because the last one's kind of cringe. Like not gonna lie because it's all about Sarah like going off to college and it's not even the same actress either. um
Oh.
and it's Marnie, but she's played by Sarah Jessica Parker or Sarah Paxton. Who the hell's Sarah
Mm.
Jessica Parker? Sarah Paxton. But it's all about Marnie going off to college, and her mom's like arguing with her, and she's like, "You're gonna go to community college," and she's like, "No, I'm going to a 4 year school." And then, Grandma comes in, and she's like, "No, no, we have to go back to Halloween Town." It's so cringy. I don't know why I loved it, but you definitely have to check out the last two: Halloween Town
All
High and
right.
Return to Halloween Town. But I was disappointed that Kimberly J. Brown didn't come back for the last one. And I get it, she was kind of older because that was released in 2006. But when you looked at some other movies, bro, I mean, there's people that are way older than she was playing teenagers. So you can't tell me that she couldn't have done that.
Yeah, but I wonder if she saw the script and she was like, no.
Yeah, true, maybe. Maybe it was one of those things where she was just like, yo, cringe.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And it could have been, oh my god, the first one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the first time I saw, I'll never forget. There was a girl that lived down the street from me, and I was over at her house, and she turned on her TV, and she's like, "Have you ever seen this?" I was like, "No," and my life was changed forever.
Dude, I know. I was a television kid. I was TV and I was music, and it was more like I would go outside and play, but then I would come in and I would watch Scooby Doo and the Flintstones and
Mhm.
Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like, just from the time I would get in the house, like I would be out maybe from like 9 in the afternoon. Panic at the Disco. That's Panic at the Disco.
You know, that crisp, sunny 9 in the afternoon.
Yeah, right. Um, but I would go out at like 9 in the morning and come in probably like maybe 1, 2, and then you eat lunch and you take a bath or a shower or whatever because you're out playing in the dirt. And then I would just sit in front of the TV till dinner time. And oh my god, my eye. And it got to the point that my parents got me one of those mini box TVs. It was so small. I think I still have it in my basement. I'll have to show it to you the next time
Oh
you're
my
over.
god.
Um, so I could watch TV because that's all I would do after I got in the house. Like, if it wasn't Courage the Cowardly Dog was another favorite of mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was always something, and that's how I discovered Halloween Town because Disney Channel used to do Halloween in April, and I'm so disappointed that they don't anymore, but it be like
Yeah.
that.
You know what's insane is
Aaliyah said you
I
guys should
s-
do an American Horror Story podcast.
ooh,
What
that
was
would be
that?
interesting. I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a
I
good
think
chunk.
I think there's a delay on your end. What?
I think so, yeah.
I think there's a delay on your end.
Can you hear me now?
Um, yep, I can hear you now. Sorry, my eyes like
Okay.
burning. um, but yeah, Aaliyah said a podcast of American Horror Story. I haven't seen American Horror Story yet.
None of them?
No, I saw the first season, the second season, and I saw 1984.
Okay, I
So
haven't seen 1984.
I saw the first, second, and last one.
I've seen 1, 2, 3, Cult, Roanoke,
Oh
and
my.
Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check out
So
Apocalypse.
you got some homework.
Yeah. Um, but what were you saying before that? Because there was like a delay, and then we kept
Oh
over.
yeah, so you were talking about when you were a kid and watching TV, and it's so crazy how some things just stick out in your mind. Like one, I can remember my childhood phone number. I
Yep,
still
me
know it
too.
by heart.
We
And
had three of them, and I
also,
remember all three.
I would, yeah. And watching TV, as a kid, you have Disney Channel,
Yep,
Cartoon Network, and
yep,
Nickelodeon. And in
yep,
Coaldale, where I was living as a kid, it was 46 was Disney, 25 was Nick, and 58 was Cartoon Network. And that's because back in the day, you couldn't fast forward through commercials. So I would just flip through 46, 25, 58, 46, 25, 58
yep.
all the fucking time.
Well,
And I don't just, you were talking about that and it just
right.
came back to me. I was like,
Exactly.
whoa.
See, we would switch. Sometimes we had Dish Network, sometimes we had DirecTV, but unfortunately, at the time, that was when satellite TV was relatively still new. So, like, anytime we would get rain, it would go out totally for like 5, 6, 7 days. So,
Mm.
Then we switched back to cable, and it's funny you say that because I always think about sometimes I would watch ABC Family because I liked Kyle XY for some reason. Not sure why.
Mm.
I liked that show though. I can't find it anywhere. But anyway, so I would switch between 40, 41, 42. 40 was Nick, 41 was Cartoon Network, 42 was Disney Channel, and then
Let's see, yours were all nice and lined up.
exactly. But then 62 was ABC Family, which is now called Freeform, and I feel old as hell calling it ABC Family because nobody knows what I'm talking
Wait,
about.
they changed it?
Yeah, they changed it in like I want to say 2016 maybe. Maybe a little
Wow.
sooner than that.
That's
It's now
I
called
honestly have not had cable. Oh my god, since college.
yeah, it's now called Freeform.
Yeah, no, I have Netflix.
See, sometimes you're better off cuz at least you can watch Goosebumps, which by the way, um looking back as an adult, Goosebumps is very cringe, but it's the nostalgia for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you
Same
remember
thing
the movies?
no, I've heard they're awful.
Oh my god, I had on VHS. Oh god, what was it? Something about like the
Oh,
kids couldn't go down in the
oh, Stay Out of
cellar
the Basement.
because
I thought you were talking about like the remake movies that they just released in like
no, no,
2013.
no, no, like the individual
Yeah.
stories. Do you know
Yeah,
which one I'm
my
talking about? Don't go in the basement. Is that what it is?
Stay Out of the Basement.
Stay out of the basement
Yeah.
and Tower of Terror.
Yep. A Night in Terror Tower.
Yes, that's it.
My
I had
favorite.
those on VHS.
Yep. I had Stay Out of the Basement. I had the Haunted Mask parts 1 and 2 because there was two different ones,
Mm,
and then I had Welcome to the Dead House. That one was and still is my favorite. I don't care what anybody says. Even the book is so good. And but to me, Welcome to the Dead House is the epitome of the 90s. Like it just screams
mm,
90s.
yeah.
Um
Mm.
but another favorite of mine, and I remember I was just talking to my mom about this the other day, was Buffy the Vampire Slayer for some reason.
Oh my god. Okay. Our topic today, not that anyone would know, is horror video games. There
Mhm.
was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer video game for PS2,
I remember it. I
and
had it.
oh my god, it was so cool. I fucking loved
Yes.
it. So back in the day when 48 hours was a thing, I would go there and I would rent it like almost every weekend for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row because there was the episode with Adam,
Yeah.
the like cyborg monster guy,
Yep.
and I could never beat that level. So I don't know anything that happens after that level because I could never beat him. And to this day, it bothers me.
When I got to that level, I made my brother beat it for me. As I did with most games when I was a kid. Like I had um I had Grand Theft Auto 3 for the PS2 and I made my brother beat it just so I could have free play.
Mm,
Like if it got to a part that was very hard, I would make him beat it. Now,
yeah,
you know, um I wish I had a PS2 so I could play Buffy again. Because
yeah,
I loved that game. That and Shrek were my two favorite PS2 games. Very, very, very different.
yeah,
um,
yes.
but sometimes that's how it is. But I also really liked Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charmed, Bewitched. Jeez, I really liked a lot of movie or a lot of TV shows that had to do with witchcraft.
Did you ever get into Supernatural?
No,
That's a good one.
I
It
think I
just
watched.
ended.
I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes and see, here's my thing. I was very into The Walking Dead in high school. It was my favorite TV show when I was in high school. Um,
Yeah.
but my biggest problem is, as it is with very long movies, when a show drags out for more than like 5 seasons, I automatically lose interest. And I'm not sure why that is. I think there's
Because
like this
it's
little
so
mechanism.
overwhelming. It's so fucking much. It's like, really, you want me to sit here and
Exactly.
watch 19 seasons?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hi, Tariel.
Mm.
Hi, Tari. Cameo by Tari. But
Yes.
and it's like I said, The Walking Dead is ending this year, and maybe I'll start over again and watch every season. But and I that's what kind of barred me from watching Supernatural because by the time I had seen it, it was on like season like 10. or something
Mhm.
or whatever. I don't know how many seasons there are, but I know it was like a high season, and I was like, do I really want to go back and watch every single season that has between 10 and 26 episodes in it and it's 45 minutes long? Hell the hell no.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
honestly,
so
it's like 16 or 19, I can't remember which. It's 16 or 19 seasons. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I
And
mean,
I
I feel
love the show. I love the characters, and I'll tell you right now, they should have ended it after season 3.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's the same thing with The Walking Dead. I don't know how far into that you got, if you got into it at all. Tari's
The
watching
last
it.
thing I got to, spoiler alerts. If you are still watching The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
plug your ear holes. The last thing I saw was Negan killed Alpha.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm
A
waiting
lot's
for the new
happened since
episodes
then.
after that to come on Netflix.
Yeah. A lot's happened since then. Also, Tari just watched you drink your wine, and I thought it was so cute. Anyway, um, but spoiler, I don't think you got this far because I think this was after Negan killed Alpha. I could be wrong. I have my timeline a little bit mixed up because this was right when I stopped watching. Um, they should have ended it when they killed off Carl
Yes.
because in the comics, Carl does not die.
Mm,
And I know they were trying to make it their own, but they should have ended it after they killed off Carl because Rick's not on there anymore either. Rick went missing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. And don't tell me, I don't know if he comes back or not later, but they like allude like he might come back, who knows? Weird trash lady
yeah.
might have found him. Who the fuck knows? Like I don't it
Well,
got weird.
then there was the whole theory that like the whole series was like Rick's dream, like because when you see him in the beginning, he's waking up from a coma. So there was
Right.
like that whole theory, but then Fear the Walking Dead came out, so people kind of like abandoned that theory. I feel like it would be a fucking sick ending. I mean, they already deviated from the comics enough, you know. I feel like it'd be a dope ending if just Rick just sat straight up, like at the very end of the series, and was just like, and it was all a
Mm,
dream. Like, I
mm.
feel like that would be the coolest ending to The Walking Dead ever. Like, the whole thing was a dream, and he goes outside, and life is totally normal. Like,
I see
I
that's
feel like
interesting because a lot of people feel like that's such a cheap ending to things to be like it was all a dream. But at the same time, I think it speaks a lot to the idea of our own minds can conjure up so much horror and pain and heartache.
exactly, exactly. So we have a couple comments. Really random question: have you guys heard of the game Rules of Rose for the PS2? No, I have not
Mm-mm.
heard of Rules of Rose. And Jermaine said one of the greatest shows ever. Do you mean The Walking Dead? Because it was good, and then they killed off Glenn and Carl, and then Rick went bye bye. So, like I said, I feel like because they're ending it this year, I think I'm gonna start over, and I think I'm gonna get caught up, just because it was my favorite show. I'll give it
It's so good. It was the
farewell.
first of its kind.
Hmm.
A zombie apocalypse TV show. I remember when that first came out in October of
2010. I remember it too.
2009.
Yeah.
And I was just like, holy shit, this is so fucking cool. And it was really good. And it
Right.
really touches on the insanity of man.
Right, because prior to that, we hadn't seen anything like that. And then right after that, I'll never forget like seeing the commercials for Z Nation when they tried to like rip off The Walking Dead. I don't mind Z Nation. I've seen it,
I've
but
never watched it.
it, it's the sci-fi version of The Walking Dead. It's a sci-fi original.
Okay,
So say no more. Um
gotcha.
but like I said, I feel like I'll give The Walking Dead like a final send off this year. And Jermaine said Supernatural. Y- You guys are gonna make me watch Supernatural now, and I don't want to get 19 seasons in the cesspool. It's bad enough I have. I forget when they killed off Carl. Was it season 8? Whenever they killed off Carl in The Walking Dead, I have all that to get caught up on.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew about Rick going missing was because I watched that episode. So I mean,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, taking on Supernatural, it's hard because you can't even tell people like, "Oh, you gotta watch it." Because it's like, who is going to dedicate so much of their time to watch 19 fucking seasons? And even if it's not, even if it's 15 seasons, it might as well be 19 fucking seasons.
Well,
Because
I
it's
mean,
so long.
no
You know,
offense,
that's a lot.
right? No offense to people watching, but like, how are you still watching Grey's Anatomy after like 25 seasons or whatever? See,
See, I
that's
never got into
another one.
Grey's Anatomy. I feel like it's just soap opera bullshit. It's just, it's not my
Yeah,
bag. You
yeah.
know, it's just,
I
it's not
mean,
me. I'm
like
not
I
into
said, I
that
mean,
shit.
I'm not bagging on anybody, and I applaud people who have that loyalty that they've been watching it since the beginning because, like I said, I have a Walking Dead poster on my wall, and I know you've seen it because it's right on my wall. But even I gave up on that. You know, like I applaud people who can like stick with a show because I no, no.
Yeah. Well, that's like with Supernatural. For it kept going and kept going, and I kept waiting for
Exactly.
the series finale to come.
Right.
And the only reason I kept watching it was like, well, I'm 14 seasons invested. You know, it's like a
Exactly.
bad marriage. It's it's just like, well, I've been here this long.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, got it this far. Jermaine said,
Right.
What about Criminal Minds?" You know,
That's another one where it's the same fucking thing over and over, and it's
exactly,
I've
and
watched like 5 seasons of it, and I'm like, "Okay, can we do something different, you
right,
guys? Like,
right.
just a little bit?"
And you know that makes me think of another show. And if she was still here, she would just like give me like that look because I used to watch it with her. NCIS is another
Mhm.
one, and I know Nana loved it, and I used to love it when I was a kid. But it's the same like recycled thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Well, now
know,
Abby's gone, so it's like,
yeah,
I don't really care.
yeah. Yo,
Well, and she's gone because apparently Mark Harmon, the guy that plays Gibbs, apparently is an asshole.
oh yeah,
So
no
it's
shot,
like knowing that, now I can't watch it because it's like, oh, so you're
no
this
shot.
sweet guy on camera, but you're actually a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Jermaine goes, which one? New Orleans? No, actually, I'm talking about the original NCIS. Like
Yeah.
before they got into like New Orleans and everything, like the original, like it was just NCIS.
Oh my god, speaking
Um,
of New Orleans though, oh my god, the one guy, the young guy, have you seen it?
no.
Okay, so the young guy who's in it, he played the little kid Caleb in American Gothic. Did you ever watch that show?
Yes.
Yeah, so that kid that's in American Gothic that plays Caleb, it's him all grown up. He's in NCIS New Orleans.
Oh my god, now I have to
Yeah.
watch it just to see that.
Yeah.
Elias said, I love Grace, but I want to know what happens in the end. I thought this season was going to be it, but they renewed it again. Again, I applaud you because I would have given up like long ago.
Yeah. At this point it's just like they're trying to get blood from a stone because it's just
Right. I wish
God, when your own fans are like, "Come on, let this be the last season. Let this be the last season," and it's not, and they're like,
right.
you know,
I wish they would bring back Kyle XY.
I have no idea what that is.
You have to look it up. I can't I'm going to look right now. I'm going to see if it's on any streaming services cuz I haven't seen it, but you know, recently these what the hell is this? Recently these places have been shocking me, so you never know. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. So, it's available on Prime Video, but you have to buy it. Ew, I'm not buying that. That's stupid. And it's also on Vudu and YouTube Red. Well, if it ever becomes free, you have to check it out. It's about this kid who he's from another planet and he gets taken in by this other family. He looks human. The only thing that sets him apart from the humans is he doesn't have a belly button.
Okay.
it's it's strange, but it's like a sci-fi. You know, it's not a sci-fi original. It was on ABC Family.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
but it's like the sci-fi base type thing, and it's all about him, you know, trying to figure out where he's from and everything because he has no memory. He just wakes up in his adopted family's yard one day, and
Mm,
he tries to remember where he's from, but he can't. He has no idea that he's from another planet. So it's really cool. I mean, if you're into like sci-fi aliens with no belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Um
I have a love-fear relationship of alien stuff. Because the one horror movie that scared the absolute fuck out of me, that I had to sleep with my bedroom light on for like 2 weeks. And this is coming from someone, I've been watching horror movies since I was 3 years old. Nothing scares me. But this movie did. It was The Fourth Kind. Because it was
Oh
just so
yeah.
subtle and realistic of just aliens. And that's the thing, aliens freak me out because it could be totally plausible
Yeah.
and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Like they could be
See
doing this shit to you and you have no idea.
see
That is what freaked
that's
me the fuck
see
out.
that's what gets me, and I've been watching horror movies probably around the same age you were, slashers don't bother me, fucking monsters don't bother me, but things that are plausible and could really happen are what scare me. Like some paranormal movies terrify the shit out of me because like you don't know. Like you don't know if that
Mhm.
could happen. Same thing with like you said with aliens. Like when I was a kid, I was afraid of Close Encounters of the Third Kind because you don't know. Like, you have
Mhm.
no idea if that could even happen.
Yeah. And for those of you who have not seen The Fourth Kind, it's the premise is aliens will come to you at night when you're sleeping and take you and do experiments and fucked up shit to you and then wipe your memory. So you wake
Yeah.
up and you have no recollection of it.
Yeah.
And it was just that thought of an intruder coming into your home and doing something horrible to you and you having no memory of it
Yeah,
and having
exactly.
absolutely zero control, which just terrified me.
Well, I'll tell you, um, the one that always got me, and I've seen The Fourth Kind, and that I don't disagree that it was terrifying. Um, but the thing that's always bothered me is like I just saw Leah mention it in the comments is Paranormal Activity because bro,
Oh,
like,
yes.
dude,
Oh, I love those movies. Those
no.
are so good.
Yeah, me too. Jermaine says, "Wish they would bring back the Killing. Never heard of it. Darts Dies was crazy. Yes, so was
Yeah.
Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls was crazy too. Unrelated movie, but it's crazy.
Yeah, Dark Skies was good. That had a
Um,
good twist to it. I like that one.
yeah, you have to check out My Soul to Take. That one's crazy too.
My Soul to Take. Why
It's
is
a
that sounds so familiar.
um, it's about this kid and him and his sister are the children of notorious serial killers and there's like six, I don't know if it's 6 or 16, I don't remember, but there's six kids that were all born at midnight on the day the serial killer was killed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that one. I saw that one. That was a good one. I liked
Yeah.
that because it was kind of a homage to, and I think, did Carpenter do that one too?
No, that was Wes Craven.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, that was
So,
Craven.
it was very much a homage to, and of course, Wes Craven. So, 90s slasher, like
Yeah.
Scream. It was very familiar to that, and that's why I
Yeah.
think I liked it so much.
Oh yeah, me too. The whole movie itself is kind of shaky, like it kind of doesn't draw much of like a plot to it really. Doesn't really build up
No,
the
it's a
suspense.
little scattered.
Exactly. But the plot twist at the end is good and the homage like you said is what's good too.
Yeah.
But I remember what I was going to say. One movie, alien movie that is not terrifying at all is The Faculty and I will fight anybody on that hill because there's no way that would happen. Okay. You ever
Right.
seen The
But
Faculty? Yeah.
also, The Faculty is one of my favorite movies.
I mean mine too because
I mean,
Josh
Josh
Hartnett,
Hartnett.
dude. Although he wasn't that good looking in Halloween H2O, let me just say that.
No, he was kind of dweeby looking.
Yeah, no, you know who he kind of looked like? He kind of looked like Jim from The Office in Halloween H2O.
Yes. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay, we got more comments. The movie Orphan. Yo, that plot twist was insane. I heard they're
That
making a
was
new
fucked
Orphan.
up.
Yeah, heard they're making a
That
new one.
was I commend any movie that has a twist that I don't see coming because I can almost all like 99.9% of the time if there's a twist, I see it coming.
Right. And again, that's what was good about My Soul to Take. That plot twist was amazing. You never saw that one coming.
Right. Yeah.
Like I would have thought it was either Bug or it was his sister or his father was still alive. That's what I thought the first time I saw it. I was like, "Oh, the father's still alive, problem solved." Then when you
Right.
find out it's Alex, you're like, "What?"
Like, wait, what? How?
Yeah.
When?
You're like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
Damn. Another spoiler
That was a
alert.
good one.
Yeah. Okay, and then The Killing was with Kevin Bacon. I'll have to check that out. Me and
I mean, I
Jamie
love anything with Kevin Bacon.
Me and Jamie recently watched You Should Have Left with Kevin Bacon. That movie was strange, but I actually enjoyed that. It was weird though.
Yeah, it was weird. Um, and I was so excited when it was coming out because it did remind me of The Evil Within.
Yeah.
You know, that like mind bending shit. And
Yeah.
it kind of let me down in that, but I mean, that was my own expectations of it.
Right.
But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Mhm. Me too. Sinister was good too. I only saw half of Sinister, so I'll have to watch that again.
The first one is good, the second one I think is crap.
Rodney told me to watch 7. I haven't seen 7 yet either.
Oh my god, 7 is so good.
I'll have to watch it.
What's in the box? Like, yeah, you have to see it. Oh my god,
I'll have to
Morgan
watch
Freeman and
it.
Brad Pitt, fuck yeah. And it's a noir. Yes.
Yeah. An
It's so
interesting
good.
alien movie is called Circle. They do a social experiment on I've seen that on the individuals to see who deserves to live. That reminds me of Society. You ever see Society?
No.
It's like a family of aliens and they blend into society, but then they start killing people because they decide that
Mm-mm.
like it's like an upper class type thing. Like it's like they start killing off the rich people and they decide who gets to live and who doesn't.
I'm down with that. That sounds cool.
Eat the
Killing
rich,
rich people.
eat the rich, literally.
Yeah.
What, 7 is a classic? I know, I'm gonna watch 7 maybe tomorrow because it's on Amazon Prime and everything, or maybe I'll watch it when I'm done here, which we are at an hour and 31. So if you want to cut it, if you want to keep going, that's up to you. But I am dying under these lights because I had to turn off my air conditioner.
No, I think an hour and 30 is good. I think that's a good cutoff point because we are so way off of
So
video games.
yeah, yeah, we left video games behind like an hour ago.
Right. But
All
anyone who
right.
has ever listened to us talk knows that we just like here's our train
Yep.
and then here's the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, like we're kind of like Dory from Finding Nemo in the sense that we remember what we're talking about, but we get distracted very easily because we have another thought pop into our head. We're just like, oh my God, I have to say this right now.
Right, yes, exactly.
Yeah. If I don't say this right now, my brain will explode.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 of Ghoulfriends. We will be back maybe next week, maybe the week after. It kind of all depends on Jamie's availability and if I, go to the gym an hour before the podcast. um,
And also just like what you guys want. Do you guys want this to be a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing? Like what works
yeah.
for you guys? What do
Yeah,
you
you
guys
know what?
want?
Yeah, you know what? Tell us in the comments. Do you want this to be weekly or bi-weekly? Do you want it to be once a month, twice a month, thrice a month? I mean, preferably not daily because I feel like eventually we will run out of content. Eventually.
Yes, eventually we will.
Yeah, like we may have enough daily content to get us through a year, but then after that, it's
Then we're
kind of tough.
scrounging.
Yeah, what time do I go to the gym? It varies. Tonight it just so happened to be an hour right before the podcast, but it varies. So it really doesn't matter. If you guys want us to do, if you guys want us to start at like 7, 8, 9, let us know. I mean, me and Jamie are up till
Yeah.
God knows when anyway. So
Right. And the only thing that really changes is the day. And that's
yeah,
because I work retail. So my schedule is like
right. But, like I said, let us know in the comments if you want this to be weekly, bi-weekly, if you want to touch on some comments, and if you want to come on the podcast, we would love to have you on, but we have some rules and regulations. Number 1, your opinions are your own, solely your own. Number 2, please do not cause any kind of havoc if you disagree with us. And number 3, please enjoy and be prepared to have an in-depth conversation that will probably get off topic multiple times.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
But hit us up if you want to come on. Let us know what topics you want to hear. I think our next topic is probably going to be Disney horror movies. Spoiler alert. Jermaine said, "Don't forget about me and Duds. You and Duds can come on anytime. Um, just let me know." Um, but we're gonna pick out the topics like probably at the end of the current episode that we're doing, just so that we know. So, um, just let me know like what topic you guys want, and we'll see if we can focus on that. And we will be releasing on Spotify probably by mid to end of summer, and that's only because I have to like get everything settled with like Anchor, because I use Anchor and it's free to use, but I have to figure out how to use it.
Right.
So,
There's a
and
learning curve.
right. And then, there's like it depends on like what you do, but like I know when I released the cover song, we had like a 2-week margin that we had to upload and release the song. So we only had 2 weeks. So a lot of times you can only upload it 2 weeks prior. So, it may be behind. Um so about our album, yeah, that's fine. That's the music chat. But if you want Jamie or Ray or Emmy to be a part of that podcast, just let me know and I'll pull one of them. I don't know which one, but I'll pull one of them.
One of us will
um
be there.
yeah, yep, it'll be somebody. But yeah, so like I said, next one is probably gonna be Disney horror. Let us know if you want weekly, bi-weekly. um and yeah, that this has been the Ghoulfriends podcast. I don't know what I just almost said, but I almost looked at my monster and I almost said this has been green. um so I'm gonna head off and probably go watch Seven. Probably not though. I'm probably
Uh,
lying, but I'll watch
you're
it
gonna go watch
eventually.
Seven.
Yes. Yes, I will. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in, and like I said, to late summer, and all previous and current at that time episodes will be available, as well as Apple Podcasts. I don't know if Google makes a podcast thing. I feel like they do. I don't know. I don't have an Android, but
Everyone
it'll be
does, I
available
feel
anywhere you
like.
listen to podcasts. Yeah, it'll be
I
available
feel like
anywhere
the
you listen to
mailman, he's got a streaming service at this point. Like,
podcasts. Yo, that and everybody has a podcast.
true facts. I mean,
Like yo,
here we
yo,
are.
when I was a kid, I had those oh my god, what the hell are they called? You Nows by like Nickelodeon, and like you could play like little clips of like a
Mm,
TV show. And they used to have podcasts on there, and people don't realize podcasts have been around for like 15 or so years, and they only just recently reached popularity.
yeah.
Because I remember going through my You Now, and it had an option for podcasts. And I used to watch some guy juggle on a podcast for like 20 minutes straight in the backseat of my mom's old Cavalier. Um, and then I would follow it up by playing Did Dud on my Game Boy Advanced SP.
Nice.
So, that's how it be. But yeah, I really have to end this. So so again, thank you guys so
Otherwise,
much.
we'll just keep going.
Yep. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure you catch us next time. Catch you on the flippity flip.
Bye.